Hello again, guys. So, I've had a little bit of an addition to my tray, so now I've got two lots of them. Okay, because what we want to start doing is putting these numbers together. So, you can see there that I'm going to be adding one number to another number. All my numbers will be combined on this one, so I'll be adding this number to this number. The way I'm going to find my numbers is going to be on Google, and it's called Random Number Generator. If you type that into Google, you get this screen here, and all you have to do is put in your minimum, which we want to be 111, and our maximum to be 999, and we're dealing with only 3-digit numbers. And I can generate a number, 614. Wonderful. So I'll put that number on here. I've got my counters here, so I can put them on. £100, 600. Excuse the time, do apologise. 614, 110, and 4 ones. Now, there isn't any way that you need to put this on here, apart from to make it very visual that that is the number. There are no rules. If you want to organise your numbers like that because you see a 6 as a 5 and a 1, that's fine. I see a 6 as 2 3s, equally fine. I'd tell the children realistically to avoid doing things like that, just because it's harder for them to see that that's the number. So to make it as clear that that's the number as possible. Okay. So I need my next number now. So I'm just going to go to random generator again. My number is 566. Wonderful, lots of different coins for that one. So, obviously for a 5, I'm going to use one of the columns because I know it's half of 10. So it's 5. I need 6 of these. You all know how I like my 6s. And then I need 6 ones. So, luckily for me, I've got an example of different things that are going to happen when I start combining these two numbers, when I add them together. So, I now have 614, and I'm going to add to it 566. So the first thing I start to do, obviously, is I start with my pennies. The reason I have to start from this side on my pennies is because if I need to exchange, then I exchange for this number and it moves up, and then for this number and it moves up, and then we go on like that. So I've got 4 pennies, 4 ones, and I need to add 6 ones. So this is what I do. Bring it down, and we're away. There, 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 and oh! Now I know if I put this one in, something instantly happens. As soon as I do it, I've not done it yet, as soon as I do it, I have to wipe them all away because I don't have any ones anymore. Those 10 ones now have been exchanged into 1 10. And there we go. So at the moment I've added 614, add 6, and I've ended up with 620. Now I've got to add my 10s. So I've got these 6 10s to add to 2 10s. Well, I know that that's all going to remain within 100, and 6 10s and 2 10s are 8 10s. So as I move them down, if I was doing this on paper, I think I would find that quite easy. But right here, I know I've got 680. So I've added 66 from here. 66 has come down, and I've got exactly 680. Now, my final step, I'm going up to here. Now I've got 500s and 600s. So the children, once they get the hang of this, will start to understand that that's going to need a form of exchanging. So when I get to this point right here, that all now needs to be wiped away, and I need something, and I'm going to use a pen for now because I haven't thought I would get a 1,000 number. I've got 1,000 there, and this 1 to come down. So now I have got 1,180 is my answer. So if the children can randomly generate 2 numbers just like that, put the counters all in, and then combine them and come up with the answer, as they are doing it, I would love them to be able to write that down as well. So I'll go through how I want them to write it now. So let me find a spare page. So, the reason we have to write these out in a specific way is because we want the place value to be understood. So it was 614, and we added 566. I'm trying to give you as much as you can see on this, well, I can still see it as well. But what we did is we split them all up, didn't we? We split them into, and this is called partitioning, and a really important part of what we do. So we split it up into all of its different values. So we split that 614 up into 610 and a 4. We split the 566 up into 500, 60 and 6. And then we did them one step at a time. The first thing we did was the 6 had the 4, and we made 10 out of it. The next thing we did was we did the 10 had the 60. We had all the 10s on. Now altogether we knew we had 80 at that point, didn't we? Then we did 500 had 600, 600 had 500, and we ended up with 1,100. And when we added them all together, we know the answer was 1,180 with no ones. So when you're writing the answers down, I would like it to look like that as well. You can randomly generate as many questions as you want, but what I would like the children to be able to do is see it in the grid that we've shown them and be able to write it like that confidently. So it really is up to you how many the children do, as long as you feel that they're comfortable at completing this task given any two numbers. If they come away from the grid and prefer this method and can do this quite easily, including that exchanging, then that's all the better. There are shorter versions of adding than this, but we don't use the shorter versions because it doesn't show that understanding. So this is why we're using this now, is so that actually a child can talk through how they are adding numbers together and verbalise that. And we call that reasoning. Any questions, you can comment on the YouTube channel under the video. You've got the WhatsApp group, obviously, and then if children can post their work up to Showbit in the maths file, I'll post this video there for the children to watch again as well. Thank you. Bye bye.